Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today's video is one that I got requested to do, and it is how to contour. Hence why I have on almost a full face of makeup, but not everything. So I've already done my foundation, concealer, my eyeshadow, my upper mascara, and my eyebrows, and I have on lips. Basically, I'm saving all of the contour related parts for you. So contour is one of those things that I think people get really easily intimidated by, when all it is taking a powder or a cream or some sort of makeup product and applying it to the areas of your face that you want to recede. That's the whole point of contouring, is to take a dark product and recede parts of your face. Now, for me, my favorite contour product is the Kat Von D Shade Light palette, which looks like this. And I also use the brush that was made for the palette, which is this double-ended brush right here. Now, if you say don't want to spend the money on either of these things, because these are both kind of like higher ticket items, you can always get a contour palette from a less expensive brand. For example, NYX has these adorable little trios that has a matte highlight, a contour shade, and a shimmery highlight. And this comes in, I think, 4 shades. And if for some reason you can't find a palette like the little NYX one, you can literally always just buy a powder foundation that is a few shades darker than your foundation color. Just make sure that it's not too sort of warm toned. Unless you have very warm toned skin, then you can go for that direction. But for most people, you want a cooler toned contour, because it's going to mimic the shadows on your face a lot better, and it won't look like you just have a streak of like bronzer. Although if you have a cool tone bronzer, you can use that as contour. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I contour. So yeah, I'm going to zoom you in so you can get a better look, because from here I look very blown out by the light and flawless right now. But alright, so basically the primary area you want to contour is your cheekbones. So for me, that is going from the top of my ear down to my mouth. But I don't go the whole way, because if you go the whole way, you're gonna make your cheeks look very full and round, which if you want to go for that look, go for that look, live your life. But that's not the point of contouring, really. Okay, so I've taken a little bit of my contour shade, which is this one. Where's my finger? There we go. This one mixed with a little bit of this one. And on my brush, I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to start to sculpt. And you want to just blend as you go, because if you're harsh lines, if you're the devil. If you know me personally, you're laughing at that, because you know I like to make a lot of jokes about the devil, because I'm not religious, so ha ha ha. Okay, so we've got kind of a line, kind of blended. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom you guys out a little bit because you can't see my whole face. Hello. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, that I've done that, is I'm going to take the brush, one more product, and I'm tapping it off. And I'm going to start blending up the sides of the face. Now for me, because I have buzzed hair, I can kind of go back into my hairline a little bit, because I'm going to hit that skin better, and it's not going to look, I don't know, it's not going to look so funky. Now with a little more product on the brush, I'm going to go down along my jawline, because I'm a plus size individual. So, also I'm looking at my monitor to do my makeup. I have a mirror like right here. So if I'm like looking here, I'm looking in the mirror, but if I'm looking here, I'm looking in the monitor, in case you were curious. And now this part's optional, but you can also take some of that product up on your forehead, which I will do because, hello, she's balding. So I gotta minimize that forehead any way I can. For me personally, I have to go in light on my forehead, because for some reason my forehead grabs onto contour powder and likes to look really blotchy. I think I've got it pretty well blended. So now I'm going to do the other side, and then we will regroup. Okay, now that we've contoured the perimeter of the face, let's talk about some inner perimeter contouring. Okay, so one of the best tricks you can do if you want to cheat like a fuller lip with contouring, take your brush. I'm only gonna take like the very, very edge of the back here that's really fluffy. Dip it in your contour powder. Take it here under your lip. You wanna go lightly, otherwise you're gonna look like you have a soul patch, but when you have your face like this, it's gonna cheat shadow. For me personally, I'm not a big nose contour fan. I have kind of a big nose and I have a crooked nose. So I don't like to do the like bars down the nose. I think unless you're very skilled at that, it can make you look a little bit weird. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna take some of my contour powder around the tip of my nose to kind of minimize that a little bit. And then I will be right back with a little tip on how to cheat a nose contour. Okay. So now that I have that product on the tip of my nose, I don't like how it looks right now, and that is great because I'm gonna tell you my next tip. You wanna keep whatever brush that you're using in your makeup routine to apply like powder, foundation, or setting powder, and you wanna always keep this on hand to kind of go over and erase whatever mistakes you might have made. So you just do a little bit of this. And see, we look relatively normal now. If you want to kind of blend your contour in your cheeks, on your forehead, jawbone, always make sure to take whatever foundation you have down your neck because you don't want that line of demarcation. I'm hella pale, so that happens to me so easily because my face is always like a good 3 shades darker than my body for some reason. Now that we have our contour on and blended, it really is that easy of just taking a powder, you put it in the cheekbones, you put it in the forehead, perimeter of the face, jawbone, a little under the lip, tip of the nose. That's all you really need to do for contour. And like I said, always go back in with your powder brush because that way you can kind of erase any mistakes you might have made. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on some blush and highlight. So before I go in to do my blush and my highlight, I'm gonna put on a little bit of matte highlight under my eyes. This is just gonna make me look a lot more awake. I don't need a lot because I already have on concealer and I set that with powder earlier, but I'm gonna take my NYX little highlighting wheel. I'm gonna take the matte highlight. And I'm gonna focus my powder here because if I bring this area forward, it's gonna make my face look slimmer because this area is gonna kind of recede. Plus, it's gonna make my nose look smaller. I'm gonna go in with blush first. I'm gonna use the shade Romantic Rose by Milani. As I'm doing this, can I just tell you that all of the school kids are like getting off of school right now, so everyone's getting home. So if you hear a lot of cars driving by, I live in a very family neighborhood. I'm just taking the blush kind of on the apple of my cheek and up a little higher than my contour. This helps kind of blend your contour a little bit, and it also is gonna make me look a little less pale and dead. So my little tip for you here, and this is also gonna help you cheat your nose contour, is to take your blush, tap off the excess, and I just like to apply a little bit here on my nose. This helps tone down the like, I have on so much makeup-ness of. This helps bring back some of that like flush color into your face, but if you kind of notice, it's kind of made my nose look a little bit too much. So I'm gonna go back on the sides with my brush that had that light powder on it. And I'm just going to blend that through. The next stage I'm going to do is highlighting, and this is going to give that opposite to your contour that you've applied and going to just make your cheeks pop, and I do this because I love the shine. Also, this is one of those moments where I wish that you guys were here in person with me because I am having the hardest time deciding what highlighter to use. I think I'm going to opt for my highlighter from this little NYX trio, and to apply that I'm going to use an Anastasia, I believe this is the A23 brush. You want to apply it to the tops of your cheekbones. Once you've applied the highlighter, I've applied it on both my cheekbones. You really can't see it in this lighting, but I applied it on both my cheekbones, a little bit up here on the temples. I would do my upper lip, but it's gonna look weird on top of this liquid lipstick. So once you have that done, you can take your highlighter and you can apply it down the center of your nose, because we've already done the work to sort of bring this area to light and make it really bright. So it kind of does the sort of reverse contouring, so you don't have to apply a darker powder on your nose and risk that looking really weird. What you can then do is take a little tiny brush like this. This is from e.l.f. And literally, I'm just going to take this down. I'm just going to take this down the center of your nose. And this is just going to give you a nice reflective little moment. And I'm also going to give you a little skaboops on the end of the nose. Forgive me not looking into the camera, but I need to see what I'm doing. Once that's done, you can kind of go back in and blend it with your brush that you used for your under eye. And that's it for the nose. Now I'm going to real quick apply some mascara, set my face with setting spray, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've applied my mascara, I've put on setting spray, and I've also, while the setting spray was wet, I put on a little more highlighter. Alright guys, so that does it for today's video. That is how I contour, and that is also how I apply my blush and highlighter. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for those of you out there who were wanting to know how to contour. It really is very easy, and my tip that I want to leave you with is always, if you want to try anything new with makeup, do it on days when you're like not gonna leave the house all day or something. Like, do it when it doesn't matter, and that way you can kind of go crazy and try new things, because at the end of the day, it's all gonna wash off, and then you can try again, and you'll be better the next time you try, because you'll know more of what to do and what not to do. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, it helps me out immensely, and also subscribe, because I got more makeup videos to give you, and next week, I have cooking videos. That's right. If you think you can't cook, I'm gonna show you differently. So yeah, I will see you guys next week. Love you, bye.